Wait, no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I am your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, you can listen to the show wherever you get your podcasts and at YouTube at Badbit Games. And if you like what you hear, please consider dropping us a 5-star review on iTunes. And if you really like us, you consider dropping us a buck over at patreon.com/badbit. But with all that said, with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host who ever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson. How are you, sir?
Okay.
Same.
If people are watching the video version, I was gearing up, doing my usual thing, and then just defeat. It's been a long couple days.
It has been. So like I ever since I recorded the solo show because of my own mistake last week.
Continue.
I didn't fall asleep till like 3:00 in the morning that night. Ever since then, I've just been no energy, not being able to sleep at all. So I am at hype level. I should be excited because we got a lot of Ratchet and Clank stuff to look forward to this week, right? We got Gamescom. Hopefully that's really awesome, but
2 hours of game, 2.5 hours.
Is it 2.5 hours of Gamescom?
30-minute pre-show with world premieres, and then 2 hours Gamescom One Night Live itself.
Oh my God. And so I should be all over that, but like, I'm just so tired. I want to sleep, you know?
I get it.
So this is going to be, I think, a low energy, but a nice energy show.
Oh, I'll bring it up in a second.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
Oh, wowzers. Oh, games. Platformers. Oh, there you go. Wowzers.
If you guys haven't tuned into last week's show, that is my impersonation of Kyle. And I nailed it. People said that, like, they thought you walked into the room there.
God, it was uncanny. You don't need me anymore.
Honestly, I could do the show myself at this
point. 2 microphones, you just turn to each microphone and do each bit.
Like a little puppet on the side there? Yeah. Kyle.
How about next time one of us are out, we have a sock puppet version of the other one?
Okay. I can do that. We can
just do impressions of it that way.
I've been needing wholesome content, which we'll talk about in a second. So what I've been watching, I don't know why. Sometimes I get in like these weird things. I want to know how things are like made or how like productions get done. So I've been watching how like the Sesame Street, how the puppeteers work with puppets. Yeah. And so like I've been watching a lot of like Cookie Monster stuff. It's so wholesome. You forget that it's like 2020 is like a garbage fire. So like I can trust me. I'm probably like an expert puppeteer at this point.
There was a game show on Sci-Fi about Jim Henson puppet making. I forgot what the name of it what was called, but they had people come on and try to build puppets. It's kind of like that show Face Off with like the costume makeup and stuff, but they had it for the puppets, and it was so you got it. Mind-boggling.
There you go.
To see how they create these ginormous characters out of thin air and the creativity. It's amazing. I think it's on YouTube. It's one season.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Jim Henson, just a genius. But you know what? This isn't a podcast all about the life of Jim Henson. This is a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. The Puppet Room. The Muppet Room. Oh, I could. You know what? One of these weeks we'll do something like that. But instead, this week, we got more PlayStation stuff to talk about. Today, we're going to be talking about PlayStation 5 being the best launch lineup ever, ? Ratchet and Clank at Gamescom, DC Fandom possibly winning what would be E3 2020, Ghost of Tsushima being the #1 new IP seller, and more Call of Duty controversy. But before we get into all of that, this week, you know how we start every week with what you've been playing. Yeah. Kyle, what you been playing, my man?
Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends of the jury, it has been done. It has been finished. The Fall Guys Platinum is mine.
Whoa.
It is mine. 5 wins in a row. I made it mine. And it's so good to be on the other side of this war. Because it was a battle. I woke up in the morning. I thought, okay, I need to sit down. If I get to 3, I need to really focus. And then I would get to 3, and then I'd lose at the 4th one, and then I'd take 2 hours break, and then I'd go right back into it. Like, I was so focused because that was the last thing to do before I got the platinum.
How does it feel?
And then I sat down. I 100% used the exploit. I will be out front on that. The exploit works.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you leave the game before the eliminated thing pops up at the end of each stage, it won't count it as a completed match. If your kudos earnings don't go up in the main menu, that knows you're doing the trick correct. Okay. But it felt so good, Joe. I even had a royal fumble win as part of those 5s. Ooh. That was my second one, so I was willing to risk it since it was so early on. And once I had that, I just knew. I was like, okay, if I could win at royal fumble, and then the last 3 were all hexagon. I was like, okay.
I was about to say, what was the last one? How the hexagon
I put it on
was
Twitter.
Yeah,
that was my final one, and it was me and one other person at the end, and there was very limited, hexagons left, and I just had to sprint forward, purposely cut that person off. I don't care. You were the last one in front of me for platinum, and I was not going to be able to pull off that leave trick because there's not enough space before you hit the sign to really get to the leave game part of it. So felt good. I jumped up. I threw my controller in my chair instead of at a wall, which I thought about doing every other time. I just started screaming, "Whoa! Yes! Yes! Wowzers! Wowzers! Oh, I'm the best of all time!" Oh my God. Yeah, it was a great feeling. So this year alone, I have 2 of the most rewarding platinums I've ever got. Final Fantasy 7, or 3 actually. Remake, Last of Us 1, and then Fall Guys. It's been a good year for trophy hunting when it comes to me.
And let me tell you something. I've been playing a little game that we've both been playing. We got very different opinions on, which I will fight you to the death about. I requested a code for new Super Lucky's Tale, from Playful. They were, very gracious enough to give us a few codes, which we gave out to a few, lucky folks. Famous, I still need to give you your code. By the time this episode goes out, you'll already have it. But, nonetheless, new, Super Lucky's Tale. This is an iteration on Super Lucky's Tale that came out in 2019. And what was
Xbox
originally
exclusive, correct?
I believe so. Yeah. And then it was originally an Oculus game. So this game has kind of been built on the skeleton of previous iterations of said game. And my immediate thoughts, my immediate impressions, I'm at the final hub. I think there's 5 hub worlds, right?
I think there's 6.
Okay. I'm not at the final one.
Which one are you in? The theme.
I just talked to Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, so you might be in the last one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, there's 5 or 6 hub worlds, very much reminiscent to a Mario 64 or even like Banjo-Kazooie type of platformer. Super simple. This is baby's first platformer by all extents of the terms. This is something that is fun. It's whimsical. It's really something when I looked at it the first time, something that I wanted to kind of take me out of the world that is 2020 for a sec and just give me something colorful and vibrant. So, they'll give you hub worlds, reminiscent of like a banjo game, or sorry. They'll give you levels kind of like a banjo game or like a Mario 64 type of platformer. Then they'll give you levels that are kind of like a temple run where your character's always running straight. Sometimes they'll give you levels where it's like a 2D, side scroller. Sometimes they'll just give you fun puzzles to solve or like timed events to do across the levels. Every time you're in a new hub world, there's always constantly new things to do to engage you. And for me, it was enough to hook me in because though the platforming is incredibly simple, it would get tiresome over an extended period of time, but there's always something to break up the monotony, which was good enough for me. And knowing that, when I'm in a hub world or when I'm fighting enemies, there was various ways of going about to defeat those enemies. Never super challenging by all means, but it was always like, hey, I can jump on their heads kind of like Mario half the time, or I can, because I'm a fox, I'm super lucky, I'm a little cute little fox, I can burrow in the ground, and that's how I like to travel, because his tail, you see his tail, it's cute and adorable, and you pop up and you stun enemies, jump on them, or just wave your tail at them and, knock them over, etc., etc. I liked it a lot, man, or I'm enjoying it a lot. A very easy platinum. The boss fights are really fun. Super easy, but yeah, like other than like it being a very easy game that you can kind of breeze through, kind of turn your mind off, put on a podcast. That's what I was doing. I really enjoyed my time here. Super Luckies.
Yeah, so most of what you said I actually can agree with. It is adorable, it's whimsical. I do enjoy how every level in the hub world is a little bit different.
Yep.
But when it comes into those levels, I feel like it does the thing that Donkey Kong did with like the hidden letters. You collect the letters to spell lucky. Sometimes those are so obvious, it doesn't feel like a reward when you find them. So basically, the challenges on a lot of those in-game benchmarks to get a lost page for the book of, I forgot what it was called. There were two, the bar was set so low that it didn't feel super rewarding. I was just kind of going through the motions on them. But what I did super, super love about it is when you got to those puzzles where you have to move the statues, the lucky statues, those I could not get more of. I wanted more of those because that's what really like woke my brain up, because I beat this from start to finish in one sitting. Platinum it as well in one sitting. So like it was more of like, I'm just going through the motions. It is a pretty basic platformer by all means. But like when you get to those puzzle ones, or the last hub world, Foxington, which is all like the skill levels, where they have the marble game, which I hated because I was bad at it and it frustrated me.
I love the marble game. Yeah.
Or like remixes of some of the bosses. And then my favorite was, I believe it was Chip. He's like the robot man with like the mullet.
Yeah.
It's like 80s retro neon, like just speed run using all your skills. That right there is my favorite part of this game, because they were challenging. I loved the music to it. I loved the visuals to it. So if I had more of that, I would have been a little bit more high on it, but I still platinumed it. Like I didn't just, walk away. I still did everything that I possibly could do.
Yeah. I think what you said earlier, like the first 2 to 3 hub worlds kind of basic. And it was just like, okay, this is like really easy breezy cover girl. But as you get later on into that's how tired we are. As you get like into the later hub worlds, where I think, because I haven't played the previous games, the new content starts rolling in. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually challenging. This is actually, there's more variety in terms of like when you're in the larger levels, things to do. It's not just a get from point A to point B. There's actually like little puzzles you have to solve. That's really awesome. And the one thing that I really dug from this game as well is that every character has a lot of personality. And that's where I get a lot of the Banjo vibes from, is that every character you're talking to, their dialogue's funny. It's, again, cute, whimsical. It's just a lot of fun. And that's what it is for me. So like, I think seeing this, if you're a parent out there, or like you got a niece and nephew, this is definitely a game for them. And I think this builds a really good foundation, because when I take a look at like a Banjo, or when I take a look at games that have tried to take that Banjo-Kazooie element, try to give you a mascot, platformer to use. It hasn't been until we've reinvented really Crash and Spyro that these games have taken off. Like I'm looking at you, Yooka-Laylee. Like this is giving me like, okay, whatever, they're doing Super Lucky's Tales 2, this is going to be a really good foundation for them to build off of. So I think they got something. I think they got something here. And I'm pretty high on it. Yeah.
Like you said, super solid foundation for an excellent platformer.
Yeah.
And like me saying I'm down on it, like if I were to give a number score, I would say it's a solid 7.
Yeah.
It's not a bad game whatsoever. It's just there are things that you could add a little bit more challenge to, maybe like more difficulty. The enemies could be a little bit harder. Just little things. If all packaged together, this game would be one of the best platformers out there.
Fair. And again, I think I'm very optimistic, because I'm not good at platformers. So this is just like, I'm just having fun.
Which is why I was shocked that you were like, I love this game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I would give it like 7.5, 8 around there. Like, I think it's a really solid game. And I believe, and I'll look it up in a bit, but I think it's about like $40, 30, 40. So around there.
And if you're wondering like, oh wow, Kyle, you beat it in one sitting. Yeah. That one sitting was like 9 hours.
Yeah.
So it can be sort of meaty if you take your time with it and don't binge it like I did. But thank you, Playful, for the codes.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, yeah, from what I see so far, right here, let me just
It's
check.
also on Switch too, if you're listening.
Oh, and it's on Games Pass or Game Pass. So they have, $29.99. Go out there, get it. $30. Forget that the world's terrible for about 5 to 10 hours. Go for it.
Yeah.
With that, before we start and get into squaring up the news, Kyle, it's time to thank our patrons. Of course, gang, if we've ever got you through a rough car ride, a long day at work, whatever the case may be, all your support would mean the world to us over at patreon.com/badbit. Just $1 a day keeps the debtors at bay. It helps us afford awesome mics like these and really helps us build a better show. And honestly, the next month is going to be crazy. And it's all possible because of your support. So thank you all so very much. I want to thank our gold members, Ryan Grant, Gavin Gottfried, Griffin West, Robbie Bobby Miller himself, and Corey Schofelder. I want to thank our silver plus members, Marcus O'Neill, Ray Martinez, JB the Purple Monkey, and Tim Ulf himself. Again, thank you. Patreon is how we grow. It's how we build a better show. And it's all because of your support. So thank you all very much. And with that, Kyle, it is time square up the news. Yes, Kyle.
Before we get into the news,
what's that?
What's something else that they can do to help us out right now?
I don't know.
Involves some stars.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you could rate this show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
We are at 20 away.
20 away.
20 away from that magical 100.
Yeah. And we have the rest of the year to do it. And in less than a few weeks, we've gotten so many amazing 5-star reviews over at Apple Podcasts, which we'll read at the end of the show. But seriously, if we get to 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts, we're going to give away a free PS5 game on us. So your first PS5 game could be straight from Kyle and I. So go over there, rate us 5 stars and all that jazz. And now,
send us that review in DM or Twitter reply form and you'll be entered.
Bam.
As easy as that.
It's easy as that. Now it's time to get into this. So tired.
Man, wake up. Alessandro Barbosa from GameSpot writes, PS5 still coming this year has best lineup in PlayStation history, Sony says. After the release of the first global ad spot for the PlayStation 5 and some details regarding the new DualSense controller from some developers, Sony is now saying it's confident it has the best lineup it's ever seen ahead of launch later this year. That's according to Sony Interactive Entertainment Senior Vice President and Head of Global Marketing Eric Lempel, who spoke to GamesIndustry.biz recently. Launching a new console generation during a pandemic has presented challenges to everyone at Sony, but Lempel says the company is not seeing a scenario where they are unable to launch the PS5 this year still. Quote, "It's a massive challenge on every front," said Lempel. "Not just for the parts of the organization that I oversee, but for all parts of the organization. The nice thing is that we're putting it together. We will launch this year. That will happen. And from my end, we will absolutely make sure that we will bring all of the magic and all of the excitement of launches that we have had in the past." Not only does Lempel believe it's the company's best lineup yet, but that there's still more to come that will equally excite. "I would say this is the best lineup that we've ever seen in the history of PlayStation, between our worldwide studios groups and our partners from all the different publishers around the world," Lempel concluded. "We've revealed some of that content, and naturally there will be more to come. But the way that the developers can engage with this platform and create these new experiences with known IP as well as unknown IP is incredibly exciting," end quote.
Kyle?
Joe?
Is this really the best launch lineup in history? Right now, we only have Miles Morales. First off, click onto the GamesIndustry.biz interview because they talk about the challenges that the world events have put on releasing this console. And it's shown because we still don't know the price as of right now. It's the end of August. The only game we know is Holiday 2020 is Miles Morales. Of course, they're going to tell you. Any like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, whenever they launch a new product, of course it's going to be the best product. Of course they're going to have all the games. It's going to look fan-freaking-tastic. But Kyle, let's be real here. What are you expecting from PlayStation's launch lineup this time around? Do you expect it to be something similar to that of like the Nintendo Switch's launch where they had not a lot of big selection, but they did have the one game that you're going to care about, Miles Morales, or for Nintendo's sake, it was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. What do you expect walking into this lineup?
I expect what I think most new systems do, with maybe the exception of Nintendo, rely a lot on third party. And I think PS5 has a lot to support it with just a Miles Morales or a Kena or a Bugsnax to kind of really make this claim sort of true. Like, I'm kind of agreeing with Eric Lempel here. Like I just mentioned, Kena, Bugsnax, Miles Morales, in addition to Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs. You're going to have a new Madden. You're going to have a new NBA. Oh my God!
Avengers is going to have their
Avengers, cross progression and be able to upgrade. Like, it is a strong lineup already. In addition to maybe Demon Souls is actually launched. Maybe, since we're seeing more of Ratchet and Clank, maybe that's further along than we think. So like, there's still a lot of questions, and he even pointed out, like, we still haven't shown everything. Which excites me a lot. So I already think it's strong compared to like just quick Google searches of like PS3 and PS4. Yeah. It blows those out of the water.
And honestly, that's what I was looking at. I was like, so, I mean, in terms of like PS4 launch, I remember it being somewhat barren. We had Knack. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
But like, we had like Killzone, and that was really...
Resogun. PS Plus.
And I was really everything to like just seeing the IGN list. Angry Birds, Star Wars. Remember Angry Birds, everybody? Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Battlefield 4, which was not that great. Blacklight Retribution, I remember that. Call of Duty Ghosts, yikes. Contrast, which I believe was a Compulsion Games.
That was a PC Plus game with Resogun.
Yep. DC Universe, Dive Kick, like a lot of games that, let's be honest here, we see every year. And then just a lot of games that came and went. Yeah. So, like, to me, I think this is kind of an average launch of a console. Like, you're going to get, a shinier version of Call of Duty. You're going to get a shinier version of Assassin's Creed, just like the previous launch, just with, like, the previous launch system. And, you're going to have those one or two exclusives that are going to push this console forward. Now, Kyle. But here's where it gets interesting, because there was an announcement or a rumor, speculation, whatever have you, a leak, if as it were, on the 13th of August. And Kyle, it has hyped me up. What if I was to tell you that Demon Souls was rated in Korea on August 13th, as well as Miles Morales? Okay? These games are Miles Morales planned for 2020. Yeah. Why would Demon Souls be rated if it ain't coming out in November?
Yeah.
So this automatically gets me super hyped.
Yeah, as it should. Like, you don't bring a game for rating unless it's like done.
Yeah.
Unless you're somebody like Cyberpunk, whose game is massive, and I assume you're probably going to have to deliver that beforehand so everyone can find comb through that game for the ESRB. So I think that spells out a victory for Bluepoint and Souls fans alike for the launch of PS5. After reading that, instantly grabbed it in our Fantasy Critic League.
You son of a bitch, you wouldn't do that to me.
Hi.
You did it, you son of a gun.
I don't think in hours solo, but I 100% grabbed it with the community.
Good on you. You know, I respect the game. I really do. I respect the hustle. I gave up because the, commissioner's crooked. But like, to me, if we have a Demon Souls, that changes things. But then hearing that we got a Ratchet and Clank, demo happening, which is strange to me, which again, we could talk about it right now, but like Gamescom is coming on Thursday. That's why we're making this little mini episode this week. So expect another episode this week, just covering what happened at Gamescom. But like, Ratchet and Clank demo, Apparently it's going to be more hands-on. It's not going to be cut the way that it was kind of cut for during the PS5 reveal. I would have expected Spider-Man Miles Morales, because we know that's a holiday game. What does that spell for you that Ratchet and Clank already has a vertical slice ready to be shown off at a major, event?
Mm-hmm. What that tells me, and I think Paris from Gamertag Radio put it perfectly on Twitter, is they really want to showcase what this next gen of consoles can do. And as of now, when it comes to PlayStation, Ratchet and Clank is going to show off what the PS5 can do, I think, more than anything else. So why not showcase how fast those loads are? The ray tracing, the HDR, everything in Ratchet and Clank, a colorful game with lots of particle effects on screen and no loading times. I think it's a no-brainer to show why you need a PS5, and it's because of Ratchet. And then you can expound on that and be like, man, next Uncharted, if there ever is one. Holy crap. The Resident Evil 8, what is that going to do on PS5 so I think Ratchet is the perfect one, as of what we've already been told is coming to PS5, is the one to really kind of...
Does that make you think that this game sooner than later? Because, we're not here to knock on Halo or Xbox, no. But Halo was shown off. That was supposed to come out during that holiday. Reception wasn't too kind on it, but seeing that Ratchet and Clank has their own, vertical slice towards the end of August, does that spell that it's going to come out as well, 2020?
That's where I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Is Insomniac going to put out 2 games for the launch of the PS5? That's where I don't know where the answer is, because I still still believe that the OG Spider-Man game is getting a PS5 version.
Yeah.
I still think that is a thing that is being planned and we haven't heard about yet. So if Insomniac is handling that port over, 3 different things, that's a lot for one studio for a launch of a console.
Yeah.
So,
but it's also Sony getting their money's worth,
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Very true. As long as they keep pushing it out for that Resistance game. Just stop teasing me on Twitter, Insomniac. Come on.
But I do think that this game is a launch window. If anything, this game is coming out February, March. It's coming out in the first or second half of 2021.
The Second Son placement on
exactly
PS5.
The Second Son. To me, I think if the Koreans did something for us here, shout out to you guys, not only just killing it with the whole social distancing, but then leaking us a little bit of hope here. Demon Souls is huge. I think that can't be understated. Miles Morales is huge. And then Ratchet and Clank, I would dare to say, looking at previous launch lineups, if these games deliver, I think there is something to say that Sony is, when Jim Ryan was saying, our mission is to make the PS5 fly off the shelves faster than the PS4, they were not kidding around. I think this kind of shows it. I just wonder how COVID affects all these 3 games. If they were supposed to launch at holiday, if some got pushed back or some didn't. That's the thing that truly interests me. But until then, it's all hearsay, right? Yeah. With that, Kyle, we talked about the PlayStation lineup possibly being the best, given our thoughts on the matter.
I know what's coming next, so I'm getting ready.
Go for it.
Oh, it feels so good to finally say it out loud. Zarmina Khan from PS Lifestyle writes, DC Fandom Roundup. Gotham Knights supports 2-player co-op character profiles released. WB Montreal finally unveiled its next game at DC Fandom yesterday, in which Batman is dead, and it's up to a team of 4 to protect Gotham City. Gotham Knights is a brand new open-world, third-person action role-playing game that puts players in the shoes of Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. Each character will come with unique abilities, gear, weapons, and customizable suits. You can play solo or team up with a friend for 2-player online co-op. In addition, If you're looking for the continuation of the story established in Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, it's not in the upcoming WB Montreal game starring the Bat family that more closely resembles those titles. As we learned at DC Fandom, it's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League that is a continuation of the Arkhamverse. As revealed during the Suicide Squad games panel, Kill the Justice League continues the narrative established in the previous Rocksteady Arkham games. Rocksteady's Sefton Hill said that some of the narrative threads established in that trilogy will be picked up here, although he didn't share specifics. We do know the game tells an original story where they're apparently tasked with taking down the Justice League, including Superman. It also takes place at least partially in Superman's stomping grounds of Metropolis, as opposed to the Arkham games that were centered in and around Gotham City. On the other hand, Gotham Knights will not be WB Games Montreal told... WB Games Montreal told comic book, quote, Gotham Knights is an original story set in DC's Batman universe and not connected to the Arkham series, end quote.
Kyle.
It feels like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders.
First off, I want to say that the in addition part was an article from GameSpot from Chris Panera.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to you. My apologies. These two games, they were revealed. The first question of the night comes from, and no pun intended there, Marcus O'Neill, who writes in, just like you can too, via PS Trophy Room, via the Casa de Bad Bit Discord server, or just write an angry letter to Andrew House. Don't worry, I'll go over there. I'll take that mail. I'll take some Turkish delights, whatever the case may be. He asks, does it bother you just a little bit that Gotham Knights is not set in the Arkham universe? So this trailer, right, for Gotham Knights kind of leaves off or gives the illusion that it left off at the end of Arkham Knight. And it teases that Batman has been killed by a mysterious foe/organization. You are playing as Barbara. You're playing as Tim Drake. You're playing as the Red Hood. You're playing as Nightwing. Kyle, first and foremost, does it disappoint you to learn that it's not in the Arkhamverse?
No.
No? Why not?
Not at all. I think the reason why I'm not disappointed, while it would have been super cool, because the way that trailer starts, it's like police reports of an explosion, which, spoiler alert, that's kind of how Arkham Knight ends.
Yeah.
But then to see how that trailer unfolds, and you get to play as these four awesome DC heroes in the Bat family, and then it ends with arguably confirmation of one of the only comic book arcs that I have read from front to end multiple times, and the Court of Owls and Talon is going to be a huge part of this, has me so excited. I don't care if it's tied or not. I'm excited to see that storyline take place within this game and this universe that Montreal is creating for it. And I am beyond hyped. It is. I already have theories. I've already getting real deep into it. Like, the game looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed one bit that this isn't tied to the Arkhamverse, because that gives you automatic expectations of where this game is. Yeah. Like, I think that's one of the reasons why, people or Batman Arkham Origins was so divisive, was it was made by WB Games Montreal, not Rocksteady, and it's carrying the lineage of this Batman universe that Rocksteady has created. So I think it takes the pressure off of that, while at the same time delivering you what their version of the Bat family looks like, which excites me. Yeah. So as someone walking in who hasn't or isn't a devout fan of the Arkhamverse, I'm excited to jump in this for the first time. I'm not worried about what I'm missing in the story whatsoever. So I like that a lot.
On the other side, when it comes to Suicide Squad, I'm actually equally as excited that it's still in the Arkhamverse, and it is mainly taking place in Metropolis. From what I gathered, what Sefton Hill was talking during the Fandom presentation, where we get to see how the events of the Arkham series in Gotham has affected the other heroes of the Justice League and these other characters, especially Harley, who has run into Batman in the Arkham games, and the ending of Night, how does that have effect on the whole kill the Justice League thing?
Yeah.
Is this going to show Batman? Is there going to be a different Batman taking the mantle? Like, it is, that has me super excited to see what that game is. And I know everyone's talking about Gotham Knights, but I think the Suicide Squad game is equally as exciting to me. I love the tone of that. I love that, like, they have Tyra Strong being Harley again.
Yes.
I love that Samoa Joe is King Shark. That's freaking awesome.
That's so badass.
And I love how you saw Superman kill somebody, and that tells you that, you know, there's something off with these heroes. In the Brainiac ship, which I found out afterwards, like, that is that giant skull thing. So obviously you have Brainiac is behind all this, and the only thing that was missing was gameplay, but that game is so far out, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's how, like, I'm all about Gotham Knights because of, it first off, it looks like the gameplay is Ghost of Tsushima, which is Ghost of Tsushima very much takes from the Arkham elements.
Little mix of, like, Assassin's Creed in there, and Shadow of Mordor a little bit.
It looks fun as all hell. And then having the co-op option with you, like, knowing that you're going to carry my ass through most of this game is exciting. And thank you for letting me say that, let me pick Barbara, because Batgirl is going to be it. Why not?
You can't call dibs on Batgirl.
I stand her first.
Called dibs on Batgirl.
I just said it right now, though. So I don't know, just pick someone else, I guess. Who would you be here? All right, so Suicide Squad not coming out till 2022.
Yeah,
we saw a CG trailer.
Next gen only too.
Next gen only as well. Who was your favorite there? Because I'm gonna be real. In the beginning was Harley. Now it's definitely Deadshot.
Oh yeah, because of the way he was using his abilities.
He looked straight up Mando.
Yeah,
he looks like when he's using the jetpack to just, like, roast a couple of enemies. It reminded me of the Mandalorian's coming down, episode 3 of the Mandalorian, where Joe's like, "This is the pinnacle of Star Wars. This is what I've always wanted in my life, and I have it, and my life is complete." You know.
It's also interesting to note, like, I won't talk about it too much. There's a tiny bit of controversy, even though I don't see it as a big deal. Deadshot in City is a white guy. And if it's still in the Arkham universe, like, now Floyd Lawton, who's Deadshot in this game, and it was Floyd in City, like, I don't care. I think it's awesome. So stop it.
Go broke.
I think, Harley's, obviously, I love Tara Strong as Harley from Arkham games. And obviously, Samoa Joe's voice is King Shark. I can't wait to see that. But it was Captain Boomerang. He is the one standout from the Suicide Squad movie for me, other than Harley. And to have him just be so lazy and so whatever, the fact that Deadshot just saved him and he didn't even care, like, I'm excited about that. That sounds like a lot of fun. And
he seems like he's going to play as Tracer because of the boomerang. So that gets me really excited. Famous Seamus writes in, do you think DC Fandom showed game developers how to do future online conferences? And this goes to the main tidbit that I wanted to talk to you about, because how they rolled Gotham Knights was fantastic. They showed you a trailer, then they had the devs talking about their game, and then they showed you and gave you a walkthrough of what you can expect, and then talked a little bit more about the game, and then gave us a beautiful press release afterwards. It was rolled out perfectly. And with Rocksteady, it was similar. You had a CG trailer with the devs being interviewed by Will Arnett, and he can't find a way out of that dome.
More of that should have been cut. I think it's a good start. I think, obviously, it's easy to say because I'm so hyped about the games that those were the highlights, including Matt Reeves' Batman. If you haven't watched that trailer, go watch it.
Oh my god,
I'm vengeance.
Oh, Jesus.
I think some of the panels missed big time for me in there, that Fandom. But like you said, the WWE Montreal one was great. It was it gave us a lot in that small chunk, and we still left with questions. And not disappointment, like excited questions. On
in terms of, because that was a 12-hour show, so I'm expecting some awkward moments, some lulls, and whatever. I thought in terms of it all, it ran smoothly for 12 fucking hours. But with that said, the game side of it how do you feel? Because we've had the Summer Game Com, whatever we're calling it, Summer Game Fest, all these different shows, all these different conferences, week in, week out, and all I hear is like complaining that they're just not good enough. Like, does this show you, or maybe give you hope? Like, is this the best we've seen so far?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a long thought.
It's weird for me to say that because there was only 2 game things in there amongst that 12-hour thing. And I feel like if we expect that to be the norm or want that to be the norm, I think it would be equally as tiring if it was nonstop 12 hours of game coverage of us doing
I'm not saying
12-hour live react show. Are you kidding me?
There's only so much hype the industry could produce. But I'm talking like, hey, hey, gang, we're WB Games. Let's just say next year. We got these 2 games we're rolling out. This is what we're talking about. Bam. Not like the whole DC fandom, but like,
sure.
In terms of like, here's the games we're talking about. Here they are. Here's when you can expect them. Get hyped for it. I think it did it better than most out there. Like, I think the PlayStation and Xbox events are fantastic, but then outside of that, when I'm just looking at games to get excited for, I think DC fandom did a great job of getting me excited. So much so, Kyle, that I went out day afterwards, bought Arkham Asylum in City Bundle. Yes. Then I gave Batman v Superman another try. Guess what? Turned out from a bad movie to just, forgettable. Whatever, Batfleck, he's still fucking great. And then like today, I was watching The Dark Knight, just to feel alive again. And just having the Batman trailer play on loop constantly. So like, to me, I think they gave the hype in a really great way, and a really polished experience. Yeah, awkward moments aside, but it is what it is,
sure. Yeah.
Nakachaka writes in, besides the Court of Owls, which DC villains would you like to see in Gotham Knights? This goes for a question. They've already said this isn't a games as service game, but I can think there would be some type of live element to Gotham Knights. What type of villains would you like to see, or are you expecting other than Talon and the Court of Owls?
Yeah, and we know Mr. Freeze because he was part of the thing. As far as I'm concerned, as long as you don't do, I think if it's their own story, I wouldn't mind Joker again. But I think Joker's so tied to
Asylum and Hamill.
No, he's tied to I was going to say he's tied to Batman, but he also has single-handedly touched every single one of the Bat family in some deranged way.
Yeah, sure.
I'm for all villains, and from what it sounded like, is each villain is going to get like, stay with me here, the Days Gone treatment, where you have like a progress bar of a certain villain's storyline.
Okay,
and I think that'd be great. And I think if they were to come out at some point in the near future, and this will be a huge miss, and be like, oh yeah, we have the Nemesis system. So like you'll lock them up, and then they'll come back, and they'll remember you, and they'll change up like
that would be
how they come
cool.
after you. Because can you imagine just walking down the street and it's like Penguin's gang is just hanging out?
Yep.
And like you lock them up, and then once they break out, they remember you, and they change up their strategy of how they fight you, and lines of dialogue like "How dare you!" Like it's just
how dare you?
It's too perfect. It's too perfect.
Yeah, Greta broke out of prison. How dare you lock me up? How dare you?
I'll do it again.
You fucked my future. Yeah, no, I think, dude, you said Nemesis system. I'm 110% in. Gavs Goody writes, everybody wasted all the questions this week just on this topic. So it is super meaty. It's huge. We are expecting Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad to be the DC version of Avengers. And so what exclusive character is PlayStation getting?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man again.
It's Man-Bat.
Man-Bat? 110%? Yeah. I don't think any like exclusive characters this time around, but I am more excited at, even if Gotham Knights turns out to be a live service game, or, like Suicide Squad is rumored to be, though they just said co-op 1 to 4, a games as service game. I have so much more faith in those devs than I've seen with the Marvel Avengers game.
The Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah. I think that this group knows the combat that they're getting themselves into far better. And I think they're far more equipped just by their repertoire alone.
Yeah, I mean, WB Games Montreal only had Arkham Origins.
Yeah.
Is their first foray, which, by the way, it's on PS Now. Go play Origins. It's underrated. But when it comes to when I think of Rocksteady and Suicide Squad, I have so much faith in them from their lineage of all the Arkham games, their Arkham trilogy, that I know, even though it feels and it sounds like every character is going to have guns and shooting, so it's going to be a little weird that way, but I trust them with a narrative approach and a story to tell, and everything's going to look good and polished. So if anything, it'll probably be Suicide Squad, but I really am getting sick and tired of this game of service being such a negative.
Yeah, I don't understand the negative connotation. I mean, it is, look, I understand if that's not your thing. I know it's going to sound like a very Xbox year 2013, but like, there's single player Batman games to play if you're not into it, right? Like,
they
simple as that.
Specifically said you could play this whole thing by yourself.
Yeah. As long as we see the finished version and it is something that we could play by ourselves or with our friends, who really cares? As long as the game's great. I understand that people get worried about the games of service element, but like, as long as like the game you like gets supported long term, does it really matter? Yeah. I don't think it does.
I played Destiny 2 solo. Played the whole story by myself. Had a great time. Yeah. Like it didn't bug me at all. Like I just feel like the acronyms GAAS is being thrown around as such. It's the death of all single player games, and games is all it's all getting to be a sham. I don't know. It's just
that wasn't me, guys. That was Kyle. That was Kyle. That was nuts. Holy crap. Anyway. With that is our huge Arkham topic. We're very excited for Gotham Knights. I'm super excited. My one question to you, sir, though, and then just quick, we'll end it here. Are you a little disappointed it's 2021?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, same here. Make a good game. I'm all on board. Like what I saw, I'm totally on board, and I trust Rocksteady with all my heart. They wouldn't let me down.
Oh, not Rocksteady. Rocksteady is 2022.
Right, there's 2022. That bumps me out a little bit, not gonna lie. Yeah. WB Games Montreal, I have faith for.
Can you imagine if that's our summer game next year?
I mean, even if it's our winter game, it's dope.
True. Yeah.
This is just a quick response. Last week, we had a very heavy topic about Rocksteady with sexual assault allegations. They have come out ahead of their announcement with a response, and it reads, and I got the bulk of it, in response to an initial, and this comes from their PR release, to an initial communication, we met with all of our female staff, we listened, and we dealt with issues raised. All formal complaints were thoroughly investigated, addressed appropriately, and a number of serious measures were taken in response to issues that were surfaced, including discipline or termination of staff. Since then, we have introduced new ways of ensuring we are making good on our commitment to inclusion, such as asking all female staff to provide feedback about portrayal and behavior of characters in games we make. We dedicate to listening and improving, and employed specialists to help further enhance equality and representation at Rocksteady. We continue to learn, and we are working diligently to increase the ways we support everyone. We want to know if there are issues that have not been raised through our normal channels so we can address them. As such, we have engaged the services of an independent third party, confidentially speak with all employees at Rocksteady who wish to do so. We will also be reaching out to every former female employee who has left in the past 2 years to ask them to speak to the interviewers. Right now, we are passionate as ever about creating an inclusive inclusive culture, and we are listening carefully. We are determined to stand up for our staff and stand firm against any unacceptable behavior. Last week, we had allegations about this company, about shady individuals, about shitty individuals, people coming forward now with this press release, and some of the female staff going ahead and going, we didn't like that this topic was approached to us in the way it was. Things are better now. Things have gotten better now. There are improving here. Kyle, I talked a lot about it and how, if you see something shitty, say it, right? Stand up to it. If, no matter who it is, but make sure you stand up and speak your truth and all that. What are your thoughts? Because I know you love Rocksteady so much. Now knowing that for the most part, until something else happens, it seems like the air is clear here. Are you breathing a sigh of relief? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a sigh of relief. It's weird that we're now at this point of the last year or two where these things are coming out, and rightfully so. They absolutely should be. But I feel like I'm always cautious when, not on the personal accounts, but when it comes to these big companies to put out this statement.
Yeah.
Like, how much of it is just PR, good value, and how much of it is actually being taken into a serious account and really, actually putting their money where their mouth is, right? Yeah. So I love what this is saying. This is way better than that first one that came out last week. That felt like some dude in a closet somewhere typed it up. This is 100% better, and I'm happy to hear that, everything is changing. Those people have been terminated or disciplined, and they're going even a further step to have a third party interview all the female employees.
That's the one thing I really liked.
That experience, and if there's anything that they can still do to make it better, that makes me extremely happy.
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic. That's why I say, because I'm the same. Like, when some companies like, we've run through the appropriate channels, like, there's still a lot of PR stuff here. And it gets me, I'm like, okay, but did you really though? Like, did you hire a speech?
Right? Yeah. Like Ubisoft, they say they're talking about it, but then they're still there, kind of, sort of
festering until the rest of everybody. And that's the thing that I think to abruptly cut off that point is, like, there have been people coming out saying, no, things have gotten better. People have gotten fired. Okay. And that's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm still fine with, I believe it was Eurogamer coming out, or no, The Guardian, with the original story to make sure, hey, listen, like, put this company on their toes. And I like how fast, that Rocksteady reacted. Now, was it all perfect? No, because the first response was garbage, but the second response is a lot more promising. So again, there's an update. Looks like a happy ending so far. Let's knock on wood. And with that, Kyle, let's get to the next story.
Brianna Reeves from PS Lifestyle writes, Ghost of Tsushima sold 1.9 million digital copies in July, the PS4's fastest selling new IP. Ghost of Tsushima broke PlayStation records by moving a total of 2.4 million units in a mere 3 days on the market. Such successes made it the fastest selling new IP from a Sony first-party studio this console generation. Apparently, Sucker Punch's latest broke digital sales records as well. In the month of July alone, Ghost of Tsushima sold 1.9 million copies digitally, further cementing its place as PS4's fastest selling new IP from Sony's first party. Superdata reported the sales numbers in its recent posting about worldwide digital sales for the month of July. The company's report additionally notes that compared to Ghost of Tsushima's 1.9 million digital units in its launch month, Horizon Zero Dawn sold as many digital copies after 2 months on the market. Meanwhile, Days Gone's digital sales topped 1.3 million following its release in spring 2019. Superdata posits the effects coronavirus has had on, quote, alternative entertainment options, end quote, are a contributing factor to Ghost of Tsushima's success and that of other recent releases, including The Last of Us Part 2, which sold a record-breaking 4 million units during its opening weekend.
Awesome. Great news for Sucker Punch. Great news for Sony really closing out this generation with gangbuster sales, whether that is like Final Fantasy VII Remake, whether that is Ghost of Tsushima, whether that's Last of Us Part 2. Like, things are looking really positive as we get into the PlayStation 5.
Say what you will about Days Gone, it still sold over 1 million units.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. This is awesome. Ghost obviously deserves your love. And since it was just a solo show last week, I'm super hyped about the Legends DLC thing, the free DLC co-op thing. That is what I want from Ghost. So the fact that 1.9 digital units are already out there in the wild, and also all the physical people out there that still have their physical hard copies. Thank you. It's awesome. Ghost deserves all the love. Play it if you haven't already played it. It goes to show you what happens when everyone is stuck inside. They buy games.
Yeah, I think it was something that we're all kind of nervous about. It's like, well, like walking into The Last of Us Part 2 was like, how is this going to sell because of coronavirus? Or like, how is Ghost going to be affected? And and then all the games in between those launches, and to see that from what it looks like so far, nobody there. It seems like, maybe, knock on wood, hopefully, that this industry is somewhat recession proof. Because when you're at home, you have nothing else to do. Might as well play some GARMS. So GARMS, just play some GARMS. So like that's awesome to hear. With that, I'm just going to make this a very short news flash here. Gamescom 2020 schedule, all Gamescom conference dates and times explained. The headline showed for this year's virtual Gamescom will feature 38 games from 18 different publishers, primarily focused on updates from announced titles, including the reveal of Doom Eternal's campaign DLC, a closer look at Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, and Destiny 2 Beyond Light, and second season of the surprise summer smash, Fall Guys. Helmed by Jeff Keighley, the show comes in a hefty 2 hours in length, as well as a pre-show with additional world premieres, starting a half an hour before the above times. All perfectly timed to watch alongside wherever you have for tea that evening. This comes from Eurogamer, by the way. I thought that too. So if you're from the UK, it's at 7 p.m. Europe, apparently just one time zone over there. 8 p.m. The East Coast, 2 p.m. So right after lunch. West Coast, Best Coast, 11 a.m.
Yeah. And if you want that pre-show with world premieres, half hour earlier.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here, I like how they set the expectations. Most games we've already seen. On Thursday, we will be covering most of the games. We're going to at least have a long laundry list, similar to what we did earlier this month with the PlayStation State of Play. So we're going to break down each game, talk about our thoughts for each one, especially Ratchet and Clank. We'll kind of do a deep dive on that one.
Yeah.
So you can very excited. So you could probably expect that episode of the Trophy Room on Thursday night sometime. It'll be uploaded to the podcast services. And so definitely expect it the latest Friday morning at 6 a.m. like we usually do.
Yeah.
Time-wise. So,
there's already a bunch of stuff we know going to be there, like the Ratchet and Clank demo, Fall Guys Season 2, Call of Duty, more Destiny 2. Yeah. You got World of Warcraft's Shadowlands.
Oh my God, you're going to heaven in this one, guys. They ran out of ideas.
The Doom Eternal story DLC.
Now you're going to hell.
Little Nightmares 2, you're staying in hell.
Yeah.
And then the Medal of Honor Oculus VR game, which I didn't know was a thing, is going to be shown off there as well.
That's on my list. That's on my fantasy league.
Oh.
Respawn's never made a bad game.
That's true.
And it's their franchise. They made it. All right. With that, again, expect a new episode this Thursday evening of the Trophy Room alongside this one.
Joe, question.
And yes.
Real quick, because I know you want to keep it short.
Uh-huh.
Do we see either Xbox or PlayStation give some more console information during this? Because Series X was shown off at Game Awards.
I think PlayStation's kind of showed you their hand with the Ratchet. I do think at this point Xbox needs some positive PR. So I wouldn't be surprised we see the Lockhart, and it's a cute little cube apparently, right? Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I don't know. Don't really care that too much about it. But back? Yeah, dude, what if they just they give you a handle and everything?
Carrying case and all.
Oh my god, that lawsuit's gonna be interesting.
That's why they got so buddy with them.
Yeah,
so they wouldn't sue them.
They're like, we're gonna partner and make the perfect console. All right,
we're gonna give you Ori. Don't sue us.
We just want handles on this console. We want you to carry it around like a little lunchbox. And it hovers, and it's got little arms and legs, and a little face pops out, but it's cute. Trust me, it's chibi. It's adorable. So they need positive PR. I really do. So I expect something from them. I wouldn't be too surprised. What about you? Do you think PlayStation's going to come out and show something other than Ratchet?
There could be a PlayStation surprise there. I won't put it past it, but WB Games, not Montreal or whatever, but that leaked Harry Potter game, it's got to be shown off at some point. Right, so it might be there. That'd be cool if it was.
There's a Golem game.
I did see the Golem thing. Yeah,
yeah,
sure,
go for it. It's just a stealth game. A little Golem running around, being a creep. You're just sneaking up on people.
What? Sneak wants to know what you're eating.
It's like, dude, I'm on my lunch break. Please cut it out.
Sneakers just load me.
You watched the game last night?
Jesus Christ! Don't pop up on me like that, you goofy looking mother.
Hey, Colin, that's my tuna fish sandwich in the fridge. Don't you take that. I'll stay you.
He's like hissing like a cat. Oh, Jesus Christ.
We lost our minds.
Honestly, I want that game. Golem, just being a fucking creep. That's the subtitle.
Golem CPA simulator.
Oh my goodness. And like the thing that bothers me the most about that creepy son of a bitch, it's like, you're bald, alright? Shave the rest of the hair off. The strands of hair really creep me out. Ugh.
Oh my god, I almost just spit water all over my computer.
God. Anyway.
Let's go back to Call of Duty.
Before we leave this one, yeah. When I'm thinking of Smeagol being a creepy dude from The Office, I'm thinking of Office Space.
It's like, someone stole my stapler. My precious.
With a little bit of game. With a little mix of game from The Office, the sitcom. Yeah.
I would love to see Golem dressed as Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Smeagol won't know my poker face.
Oh my god. Now I can't unsee that. Good luck sleeping tonight, Kyle. The last and final. Son of a... Jeremy Winslow from GameSpot writes, no free Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War PS5 Xbox Series X upgrade, leaks suggest. Ahead of Call of Duty... Oh my god, now I'm just picturing Gollum doing Lady Gaga dance moves. Ahead of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's reveal, which is slated for August 26th, editions of the game have leaked online. There are 3 available, with 2 that include a next-gen upgrade. Buying the standard edition on the current console gen will apparently not get you free access to the PS5 or Xbox Series X versions of the game. According to a leak reported by Charlie Intel, in addition to the standard edition, there are also the cross-gen bundle and ultimate editions. All 3 include access to the beta when you pre-order the game. Each edition comes with the Frank Woods operator for Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone, and the standard and cross-gen bundle versions also feature the Confrontation Weapons Pack. The standard edition will be available for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. As the name suggests, the cross-gen bundle features the base game for current and next-gen PS5 and Xbox Series X systems. This seemingly indicates publisher Activision will follow the same path as Control publisher 505 Games, which suggested users buy the Ultimate Edition if they want the PS5, Xbox Series X upgrade. The Ultimate Edition includes the cross-gen bundle and bonus Black Ops Cold War content.
Man, oh man, oh man. Was everybody super rational about this?
right?
Yeah.
We getting a rover. We getting a piece of the Berlin Wall. What are we getting in this one?
You get a brick of the Berlin Wall. Everybody gets a little piece of rubble. It's theirs.
And since it's Black Ops, it has spider legs that pop out of it and just walks around your room.
Yeah. They want to be very historically accurate. They care a lot here. The reason why we put this here, first off, Call of Duty's reveal. Guess what? It's Call of Duty. It's going to come out every year. With these leaks indicating, though, the cross-gen bundle, it seems like they're going the 505 route, right? Where, just to catch everybody up to speed, 505 publishing Control, in order to get the next-gen version of Control or upgrade, you would have to buy the Ultimate Edition, which I believe is $30-$40. With 2K21 or NBA 2K21, there is a cross-buy bundle or a cross-gen bundle. I believe it's for $70 or $100, if I'm not mistaken, because
I think it's $100.
Yeah, that seems like a corporation would do that. So with this bundle coming out,
quick fact check on that one.
You know what? You don't even. It's basketball, right? Everybody's going to hate it. They put a slot machine in it. People still buy it. But here's the problem here, Kyle. Call of Duty's doing this. This is the biggest game each and every year. Now making it so that there is no smart delivery. There is no cross-buy. What is your initial thoughts from the biggest game in games not supporting a basic feature like smart delivery?
I think you said it right there with it's the biggest game. They're not going to waste an opportunity to milk everyone for more money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, Activision is just, they're Activision. They're the Skynet of games at this point, in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just trying to get everyone's money as much as they possibly can. Like, how, man, I'm getting angry at the Control thing at the same time. Just like, why not just make it a thing for all editions? It's so close. Are you really expecting for people that don't have the money for I don't know. I'm going to talk myself into saying like I can see it from both sides, but I just really, really want to be so angry about this. Just make it the standard going forward for all games. Just offer an upgrade. Since it's so close, if this was coming out next year and there was a previous gen version, no, bye-bye. But it's so close. It's a thing that happened from PS3 to PS4 and 360 to 1 too. Like there was a small charge, but at least it was just for all editions. Yeah, it wasn't just for specific ones.
It was like trade in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and for $10 you upgrade to the next one. Like at least it was just, but like to charge what will be an extra probably $30-$40, just like how NBA 2K is doing it, is really, really egregious. Unless,
what's that other buzzword? Anti-consumer?
Anti-consumer even. All right. Because my thing is this, if let's just say, because all the dates are pointing to November 13th, right? Being the launch date for the PS5. We're just playing figuratively here. If Call of Duty is also the 13th, God fucking help us all. But on top of that, if they're like, here's the PS5 version, it's $60, or here's like the, upgraded down the line, like you're planning on getting, like that's fine to me. But if you're just saying, no, the only way you get the PlayStation 5 version is spending that extra $40, fuck you, Call of Duty and the horse you rode in on. That's the thing that seems schemy to me. If there's not an option just to buy the PlayStation or the Call of Duty PS5 version, that's fucked up. Because if it is like, and I'm just going to be real as rain here, if this is like, I don't know, fuck that expression, but like if it's just, I'm waiting a week or two after purchasing, Call of Duty, I'll wait a week or two after purchasing, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just wait a week or two to buy the PS5 version. But if this is the only horse in town, then like, I don't want to fuck with that horse, man. I don't want to ride that horse. That horse is damaged. Damaged goods. It just sucks.
I don't think they're saying the only way to get the next gen version is through these bundles. I just think as far as the upgrades go,
Yeah.
That is the only way you'll get an upgrade. So, like, I still think you'll get the standard PS5 version when it comes out, but you gotta imagine people for Christmas might be getting the new system, and instead of rebuying it, like, the upgrade just makes sense.
But it's such an annoying concept, and it's already getting so convoluted where it's just like, well, what if I'm an Xbox guy, right? I've just bought Call of Duty on Xbox. I'm drinking, Mountain Dew, just like how the game taught me. And then,
double XP.
And I bought it digitally. Let's just say I bought the game digitally. I upgrade to the Series X. I'm not getting the Series X version of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say I bought it on PS5 digitally. You're telling me that's not going to carry over to my PS5? Like, that doesn't... Like, come on.
Yeah.
That sounds insane. And to see that, like, neither Microsoft nor Sony have, like, this clear answer, just other than, like, we're giving the opportunity for devs and publishers to smart delivery or cross-buy, it's a sucky thing for us, the consumer, to kind of figure that out game by game, in a game by game basis.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think with digital, this makes things so much more confusing. But it does seem like, no, if I bought Call of Duty on my Series X, even though they say it's smart delivery, it'll give me the Xbox One version of that game. That sucks. And it's likewise with PlayStation. It's just, what a weird scenario. And that's why this makes this launch so, I feel, inconvenient,
Yeah. I wish that they would maybe change their tone a little bit and do what I think Ubisoft did a couple weeks ago, where they said if you buy the collector's editions for like Far Cry 6 and Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed for current gen, it will come with a free upgrade for the next gen with it already in it.
Yeah.
Like that makes more sense to me than just, putting it behind, well, it's kind of the same thing, but like putting it behind an even bigger paywall.
Yeah.
For like, where even the standard, we already know the standard version will get upgraded, but like for the Ubisoft games, for this one, no.
It's a mystery still.
Stupid.
It is. It's really stupid, and it's just confusing just to be confusing, just to get more of your money. And but I do want to throw it back to you. All right. Imagine me. I'm corporate Kane now, right? I'm corporate bit. All right.
You're mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee?
Well, I was, and I was beloved. I was beloved, by the way. But now I work at Activision after taking a government job. Now I'm back in the private sector.
What a career path.
Let me tell you, it's been crazy. I just got off the RNC speech where I met Rita Repulsa. She was very abrasive. She was a little much. And I'm here to tell you, Kyle, listen, the amount of people that are going to buy the PS5 version and the amount of people that are going to buy the Series X version is drops in the bucket compared to people that are buying for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Why should I, a business if Mitt Romney's right, we're people just like you got to respect me. Why should I let you just have a free version of this game that we've poured hours into? And when I mean we, I mean the devs that I hired that I don't give a decent salary for.
Yeah. Just for goodwill.
Yeah.
Especially coming from Activision, who's done so much shady stuff in the past year or two. I think...
I'm smoking a cigarette. It's one of those fancies one where it's like a straw and the cigarette's at the end. I'm a fancy.
You got a cigarette holder?
Yeah. I'm a fancy Activision exec. Goodwill, kid. Goodwill will only get you so far. I don't know why I changed my voice, but whatever. Now I'm just from Brooklyn. I don't give a fuck, all right? Goodwill ain't buying my second yacht, kid.
Yes, sir. Goodwill. I think that's why they should do it. Activision, particularly, should do it for that reason.
Yeah, I like that. You're just like Goodwill. I mean, I interrupt you, and you're just like, I'll give it up.
Every ounce of energy left me trying to come with a comeback to that one.
Yeah, whatever, kid. Whatever. No, I think you're right. I mean, like, dude, it's the biggest franchise in town. And at the same exact time, it is a franchise. It's not like it's waning by any extent or whatever, but it's not as popular as it once was.
About that battle royale.
But it's got that battle royale. So like, I don't know. I think they should do it for just lack of goodwill, but like, then that's telling $1 billion company, hey, work on this, lazy port you probably did, but still spent millions of dollars on just for me. I don't know. Like, it sucks to say, guys, I see where they're coming from. They're a business, not a charity, but there's a fan base here of over 10 plus years of supporting your product. Least you can do is give them a free upgrade of a game they've already bought. And then trying just to double dip on a few, but that's just how I see it. Kyle, there's no drop this week. PlayStation still, they're just like, we'll start the drop again when we feel like it. Andy Snail Mail, everybody threw all their questions about Batman. But famous Seamus did have one question. Ooh. Who is cuter? Wait for it. The Fall Guy or Lucky from New Super Lucky's Tale? Who's cuter?
Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky. Thank you. Okay. Oof. Thought I was going to have to fight you.
I feel inside that bean monsters. It is nightmare fuel to what they look like.
I've seen
I've seen it too.
Yeah.
Them crawling out of the hole. I hate it.
No,
I hate it.
No.
Lucky by a long shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Country Mile. That is one cute son of a gun. And they gave him a cute little costume where like, I think it's like summertime. Like he's in swim trunks and he's got Joe Biden aviators on. And he looks cute as all hell. He's just running around enjoying the summertime. Game's great. With that, Kyle, that's been this little episode of the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Is there anything you'd like to pimp out before you get on out of here?
As always, I like to pimp out myself, WhoDatNinja73 on Twitter and on PSN. And you can follow everything else I do on the internet at kindanyc.com or at kindanyc on Twitter. Big things happening over there. We're actually going to be live streaming our reacts to Gamescom for me, Mike, and the crew of Platform Agnostic, as well as our friends Mike and Kelsey, who are the other 2/3 of Kinda NYC. Come hang out on Sunday. I got to get the date right. August 30th. They're getting married and they're live streaming it on Twitch. So come hang out and see love. Just see love. Come hang out.
I will try my best to be there because when you said, I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there next Saturday, whatever. That's my mother's birthday.
Oh.
But I mean, we're all going to be quarantined inside. So what are we actually going to do?
Yeah.
You can find me at Mr. Badbit on Twitter, Bad Bit Games on YouTube. You can find the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast video version on Bad Bit Games. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Spotify. And speaking of Apple Podcasts, again, we're at 80 reviews. Our goal is to hit 100 by the end of the year. And we're having that free PlayStation 5 next gen game giveaway. And because of that, we have 3 new reviews that have come in. Just to let everybody know. Also, if you're not from America, land of the free, home of the most infected, we can't see your reviews. Apple has a new thing. It changed it up. I can't no longer go international with iTunes. So please, if you've given us a 5-star review, you're out there in the UK, Canada, Mexico, wherever the case may be. I can say Mexico like that because I'm Hispanic, but send us tweet us at PS Trophy Room, a picture of your tweet. We'll give you a shout out. You're entered to win. Everybody who has reviewed is entered to win.
I wonder if they've done that to you, Joe, because of the stealing Andy House's mail. They've been listening. Like, we can't let Joe look at their international reviews. It can't happen. He's a menace already.
Andrew House is like, if I cannot sabotage the American Post Service, I must go through other means. This 5-star review comes from Core Chris. He says, or they say, if you're looking for a podcast about PlayStation, you have found it. 5 stars isn't enough for this cast. The hosts are honest and pretty entertaining. 10-star for this. For these gentlemen, great work. Keep up the hard work, and thanks for the hours of entertainment. Thank you for your review, Core Chris. Thank you so much. The Bird Guy, up and comers. These guys work hard and mean well. They are true gamers. I personally am not a PS gamer, but I tune into these guys because they are that good. Keep it going, guys. Thank you again. That's awesome. We're all gamers. We appreciate PlayStation, but we love games. You know that. Rapture's Elite. One of the best, 5 stars. Trophy Room is one of my favorite podcasts, especially being a PlayStation fan. What Kyle and Joe do is something I've been wanting to do with a good friend of mine, so I am glad to see it's working for them. Also, thank you. This is my favorite review, by the way. The other two, great, but this one right here stands out. Also, thank you for the Bloodborne love. It is my favorite game and doesn't get enough love on other shows. That's right. Doesn't get enough love in general. Whereas Bloodborne 2, it's been what? 1,945 days? I don't know. Round up, round down. You're goddamn right.
I appreciate you, Reaper. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
with
do it.
Do
whatever you want to do with your friends. Do it.
Yeah, awesome. Just make that thing.
Yeah.
Have fun with it, you know? Go out there, gang. And now I lost my mouse. There it is. Because usually we end the show, and I couldn't find it. I was blind. Everybody, thank you so much for the reviews. Seriously, this week as well. Holy crap. Humbling. I needed them so bad. We needed them so bad. Yeah. Thank you all so freaking much. With all that said, with all that out of the way, everyone, keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.